friends, how y'all doing? Okay, so today I'm coming at you with this super vintage bag. It's so vintage it doesn't even have a date code. It is called the MIG LaTour bag. And you've probably seen another vintage bag called the Nile. Well, apparently this model is like the old Nile model. So I have seen it referred to as the old Nile model. So anyway, okay, so the measurements are 13 inches wide by 10 inches tall to the tallest point, and then 5.5 inches deep. Okay, and that includes both zippered compartments. So there's a huge zipper compartment in the back, and it's got a slip pocket that goes all the way along the back wall, and the front zipper compartment is right here, and there are no pockets inside of it. So you don't have to worry about any sticky or peeling pockets in this one. It's leather interior, so there's no no issues there. It doesn't smell. Okay, you know how a lot of the vintage bags have like this unique storage smell? Well, most of them with either the vinyl, the vinyl type interior or cloth interior, they're gonna have kind of a storage smell. And some of them are worse than others. Some of them you can completely get rid of with, a lot of times I just use baking soda and let it sit in there for a couple of days, and then I vacuum it out, and then I always use fragrance pouches. And I try not to get ones that are too terribly perfumey, but it's so subjective. I mean, what I consider to be subtle, someone else might be like, oh my gosh, it's so strong. So, whatever. But the bags that I find with the leather interior, like this one, and then the Marceau GM that I have here in the back, that are all leather, they don't, initially, like as soon as you get it, you might notice a little smell, but honestly, after you've used it for a while, even a week, to me, it just goes away. Or maybe I get used to it. I don't know. And I actually do consider myself to have like a sensitive nose, so I do notice it. There's a reason. There's a couple of bags that I've had, vintage bags, that I've had to get rid of right away because I just couldn't deal with it. And one of them was the DeVille. I got a vintage DeVille bag, and oh my gosh, I just remember sitting in church one day and it was on the ground, and I just kept smelling that smell, and I was like, okay, bye-bye. So anyway, but I do have a soft spot for vintage bags. And as you know, a lot of the bags on my channel are vintage bags because there's not that many videos on them. When I see them, I go to YouTube and I see if there's a video, and there's usually not, or if there is one, it's crappy. And so I get the bag and I carry it for, like a week or so, and then I do a review on it. And then if I like it, great. If I don't usually get them necessarily to keep. I just like the fact that there's a video out there reviewing a vintage bag. So anyway, so yeah, what I liked about this bag, I was carrying it, like I said, for a week. I wanted to give it a shot, and I like it because it's super roomy. It looks like, if you watched my Leo video, it's the Damier Graphite. It's similar to that bag, except for, okay, so you know how on a lot of these bags, this bag and the Nile and the Amazon, how it has, okay, so you got the two zippered compartments, right? And you got one in the back and one in the front. Well, on the other models, the pocket here in the zippered compartment in the front is lower, and so it's more of a stair step. Does that make sense? Like a huge step, like it goes down, and then it looks, like it starts about like right here. I like this one because it's not so far down. There's not a huge step. So to me, it doesn't look so camera baggish or travel baggish, if you will. It definitely is, okay, so several purposes for this bag, right? Daily bag, mom's bag, school bag, work bag. there's so much room in this bag, and I forgot there's actually a slip pocket on the outside, and the inside of it is leather, and so like, again, you're not going to have, there's no peeling or anything. Now, I'm not saying that none of them have that, but this one does not. And I just threw on a little padlock because I had one, and so I just like I don't really like bag charms per se. I just like padlocks. And so, and so you can see this has the eclair zippers, okay? And I did polish one of them up, and she looks nice. I couldn't get the other one to polish up as nice. No, actually I lied. I didn't spend as much time on it. I got tired of doing that because it is time consuming. Okay, so, adjustable strap. But surprisingly, and this is the reason why I have my Marceau in the back, it's on the longest setting, okay? And so I wasn't thinking, I was thinking, but when I got it, I was just assuming that it was going to be the same size strap as my Marceau, right? So I wasn't really paying attention to the size of the strap because I just assumed that it was going to be the same as this one. Well, it's really not. And so for me, I can't wear this as a crossbody because I'm too tall. And so it looks silly. So I mainly just wear the bag as a shoulder bag. And, okay, I'm going to have to put this lower so you can see a little bit better. There. Okay. So, yeah. So see, just the shoulder bag. If I try to put it on as a crossbody, watch. It's just too high. I mean, I guess it just depends on like how high you like it. This is way too high for me. I've told y'all before, okay, so my waist is right here, my hip bone is right here, and so like, see, here's my hip bone. So see how high it is above my hip bone? I like for the top of the bag to be at least my hip bone. So it's super, it's too high for me. But, I mean, I guess if I was, you know, if I needed to be hands-free or whatever, I mean, I could definitely wear it crossbody, but I don't know, it's just too much. It's too much bag to be this high up. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I have the Marceau on, okay, so let me show you. When I have the Marceau on, it actually is a nice drop to me. Okay, of course this bag is a lot taller. See, I know you're going, what, whatever. But I don't know, this one, okay, so the bag is taller. This bag is like 13 inches high. That one's only 10 inches high. So it does go higher, but overall, I don't know, maybe it's because it is so tall that it seems like it's lower, and maybe that's why. But it just fits a little bit. I'll put this one on the other side. It just fits a little bit lower, in my opinion. Oh, okay, yeah, so you can tell. So technically, the top of the bag is higher, but the overall size of the bag hangs lower, as you can see. See, so this one is a little high. So I just carry it as a shoulder bag, which that's fine because sometimes when I'm carrying my Marceau, this one, I don't always carry it crossbody. I carry it on the shoulder because I do like it, and it's so funny because I never really consider myself like a shoulder purse gal, but I really like carrying this bag and this bag on the shoulder. And of course, because this bag is a bit of a chunky bag, you know, it's got a lot of canvas, leather interior, so even empty, it's a little on the heavier side, but it has the infamous shoulder protector, and I'm telling you, these things, oh, they're wonderful. I mean, they are so great. Now, my Marceau doesn't have one. This one doesn't. The one that I did in my video did, and I sold that one, and then I ended up getting another one, and the one I have now doesn't have a shoulder protector on it. But it's okay because the bag doesn't have, I mean, even empty, it's not that heavy, so, and I don't really load it up too much, so it's not really an issue. But for this one, you definitely would not want to get it unless it had the shoulder strap. So, I mean, the shoulder protector. So, okay, yeah. Oh, and I like it because, as you can see, there's no vachetta. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. This is like an all-weather bag, right? This pocket in the back, I use it for, okay, so I have my keys, right? So my keys in there, and I usually have my phone in there, and then I also have my little chopstick. I keep that in there, and then recently I bought this little packet, and I have gum, and I can just throw it in the back, and it's fine. So, but what I normally put in it, when I was carrying it, I had, okay, so in the back pocket, the stuff that I don't necessarily need to get to as much, okay, so I had my, my big calendar, okay, so it's pretty big, and then I have my regular accessory pochette, okay, and I just put that in there, just next to it, not up. And then I have the mid-size pochette, okay? And I can fit that in there just next to it on the side. Quit, London. And then I have this little 4x6 Coach wristlet that I put in here, and I can just put it up here on the side. Like, it's not really, I don't have to be super organized in this pocket. There's a lot of room, so it doesn't really matter. And so then I have this little pen case, and I just set it up and down, like right there on the side. Oops, that's my way. Okay, and so that's all I really put in this one. And I don't need to get into this stuff. I mean, this pouch, this side, very much. And in this back slip pocket, what I was putting is like, okay, so you know how you get like the Bath & Body Works coupons in the mail or whatever coupon like you like to have handy. I just had those, and there wasn't a lot of them. I have like 3. And I just stick them in here, and I just kind of leave them. And that way, you know, when I get to the store, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my coupon. Okay, so then in the front zipper pocket, the one that I need to get into more, okay, so I got me a Vernis zippy wallet, and it's this weird No, it's not weird. I like it. I chose it on purpose. I wanted to get like, because I wanted it to sort of match. I didn't want to get the monogram because I had a specific budget I was trying to stay under. And so, you know, the monogram ones are of course more expensive. But I wanted to get one that kind of matched sort of, or at least complemented. And so I didn't want to go with like a bright color, you know, like red or navy or, well, I know navy's not bright, but a pop. I didn't want to get a pop of color. I wanted something that would just sort of coordinate. So I got this kind of, it looks like a clay color. It's like a, and I want to say it, it's not a matte finish. Obviously vernis is shiny, but the color is like a matte clay. That's the color of it. So anyway, I just put my wallet up here in the front, and then my little handmade has Kleenexes in it, and then my little notebook. That's my like to-do list. This is where I, you know, when I have thoughts throughout the day and keep my to-do list. Oh, and I forgot my little hand sanitizer. I actually just throw that in the back too. I forgot. And so I mainly just keep this pocket back here just zipped all the time. This one may or may not get zipped. I told y'all I'm not really that worried about keeping my bag zipped, so I don't spend a whole lot of time making sure they're zipped. I'm in and out of this pocket a lot, and the slip pocket. So those are the two that, you know, I kind of mess with. So anyway, these things right here, well, again, give it a nice amount of weight. You know, again, the bag is kind of heavy, on the heavier side, empty. So you just have to keep that in mind. But this is actually would be a great mom bag, okay? Because in the front pocket, all you need to put is what you just saw me put in there, just like your wallet, maybe a couple of other essentials. And in your back pocket, you can put whatever you need to carry for your kids. And this would fit like a, you know, little notebook or a, what do you call it, a tablet. I think I have one. Oh, I do have one. Let me get it. Okay. So here's one, and I actually don't know the measurements of it. I think it's just the, what is it? Something by 10. 6 by 10? I don't know. Okay, but it would fit. I'm going to put this in the back pocket. Okay, so let me just, sorry, you want to see this. So let's just pretend that I'm using this as a work bag and not like a daily bag. So I'm going to take out my 2 pochettes, okay, and my little wristlet. I am going to leave the pen case because let's say that you're using it for work or school and you want to have your pen case. So put that there. So here's the tablet, and it fits in there. It does not stick out of the top or anything. You can't even really see it. It's like kind of back there. And so yeah, and that would be a perfect thing. Oh, and then so a bottle of water. It's a regular size. It doesn't stick out either. It sticks, I mean, it just is right there. You don't have any trouble with the zipper. And yeah, I mean, this is just, you know, again, so many purposes for this bag. It does look, well, number one, it's a unisex bag for sure. I mean, men and women both can carry it. But also, I know it does look kind of, you know, utility-ish. But like I said, I just have like a soft spot for the vintage bags, specifically the utility-looking bags. Because, I mean, let's be real. The Marceau is kind of utility-looking too. And I like these bags. Of course, this originally, the Marceau was originally in the travel set. There's like, what I tell y'all, there's 3 sizes of this bag. And then this is, well, this was probably in a travel set too. I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I'm sure that it was, you know, so it'd be a nice little carry-on. This would be a good little thing, you know, bag to put your carry-on stuff. Another thing I was going to show you, this is like a regular size book, you know, like just a soft cover. And so I could put it in here with the tablet. And so see, I've got my tablet, my book, my calendar, my water, my pen case in the back. Things I would need if I were traveling. And then in the front, I've got my, you know, Kleenexes and my wallet, my to-do list. And then, you know, the chapstick or whatever in the back. And so obviously you could throw your cords in there, you know, your your headbuds. Throw your headbuds in there. Throw your earbuds in there, your cords and everything else. So this is just like, oh man, this is like a catch-all bag. Really, this is a great bag. So again, vintage bag, super vintage, does not have a date code. It just has the stamp in here on the back, which is really super faded. You can't even see it. I'll try to show you, but I can barely even see it, just trying to look for it. But anyway, the MIG LaTour. Again, it's the old version of the Nile bag. So I hope this was helpful, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye!